For today's headlines, ERC colludes with NGCP. Philippine territory at risk with China's hand at power systems. Rody orders grid follow DOE order. Go not joining presidential race. Troops receive 4 neutralizing NPA leaders. US chill with VFA extension. Athletes face Olympic ban for violating virus rules. Cloudy skies over the Philippines. Good morning, I am Sandy Locos and you are watching Tribune News on Q. Today is Wednesday, June 16, and now the news. Former Senator Sergio Osmeña III has proposed a massive reform in the Energy Regulatory Commission as he accused the government body of corruption. He underscored the need to form a new regulatory body to audit the National Grid Corporation and the other power companies. Meanwhile, an industry insider familiar with the situation said that the president needs to use his political will to rectify the alleged non-compliance and onerous contract of electricity network concessionaire NGCP. Senator Risa Ontiveros has warned that it is not just power operations but the Philippine territory is at risk with China having a hand at the country's electricity system. Ontiveros reiterated her concern on the national security risk accompanying the massive ownership of a Chinese firm of the National Grid Corporation of the Philippines. She added that China may use its hold over the country's electricity system as leverage against the Philippines in the dispute in the West Philippine Sea. NGCP, a private consortium mandated to operate and secure power supply reserves, took control of the country's power transmission assets in 2009 for a 25-year agreement. President Rodrigo Duterte has called on the National Grid Corporation of the Philippines to comply with the Department of Energy's order to provide sufficient level of ancillary services and power reserves. In a televised briefing on Monday, Duterte stressed the need for a stable power to sustain the government's response measure against coronavirus and to spur economic growth. Duterte noted that the NGCP opposed the directive and claimed that consumers would suffer from soaring power rates if it heeds the DOE's call. According to a department circular issued 2 years ago, the NGCP is required to procure 100% of reserves to guarantee the reliability of the grid, saying it can oblige providers to deliver power whenever it is needed. The DOE said its 2019 ancillary service policy clearly stated that NGCP may engage in forward contracting, which allows the entry of additional capacities. Tribune News on Q will be back after these reminders.
Pagbabago ng mundo for all your pera transactions, all new Bayad.
Senator Bongo on Tuesday reiterated that he is not interested in seeking a higher position in the 2022 national elections, despite encouragement and the high trust ratings he received from the public as of late. In launching his 109th Malasakit Center at the National Children's Hospital in Quezon City on June 14, his birthday, Go said that while he is familiar with the responsibilities of a president, he would rather focus on helping beat the pandemic. Go emphasized that he will rather focus on helping the government come up with solutions on how to address the COVID-19 pandemic than to discuss politics. In other news, President Rodrigo Duterte dished out a total of 11 million pesos to different military units in Mindanao whose work resulted in the neutralization of ranking in New People's Army. Armed Forces Chief General Cirilito Sobejana and AFP Eastern Mindanao Command Chief Lieutenant General Greg Almerol handed over the monetary rewards during a ceremony at the Naval Station Felix Apolinario in Camp Panacan, Davao City. The Army Intelligence Regiment's 11th Intelligence and Security Unit received 5 million, while the Military Intelligence Group 16 and the 67th Infantry Battalion received 2 million peso each. Separately, a 2 million peso reward was given to the 19th Infantry Battalion, which is under the 6th Infantry Division of the AFP Western Mindanao Command. The rewards were for the neutralization of, among others, Marcelino Navarro, Second Deputy Secretary of the NPA Northeastern Mindanao Regional Committee and head of its Education and Propaganda Arm, Manuel Hilo, Finance Officer of the Southern Mindanao Regional Committee Regional Operations Command, and Romeo Libron, Commander of the ROC SMRC. The Pentagon and U.S. Embassy in the Philippines on Tuesday welcomed the decision of President Duterte to hold off for another 6 months his termination of the decades-old Visiting Forces Agreement. Pentagon spokesperson John Kirby said the U.S. Defense Department accepts the latest development in the decades-old military pact between the two countries. The U.S. Embassy expressed a similar intent in a separate statement, saying that they welcome the government of the Philippines' decision to again suspend the termination of the VFA. Foreign Affairs Secretary Teodoro Locsin Jr. announced on Monday evening the decision of President Duterte to issue fresh suspension on the military agreement after a meeting with Ambassador Jose Manuel Romualdez. The chief executive, Locsin, added, wanted to address several concerns regarding particular aspects of the agreement. We will be back. Stay with us.
Every time I'm on the road, I can expect high performance from Phoenix Fuels. Now with Pulse technology, delivers enhanced power and acceleration to make every trip come alive.
In sports, Athletes could be kicked out of the Tokyo Olympics if they violate virus rules, including daily testing and mask wearing, organizers said on Tuesday as they unveiled updated guidelines just over 5 weeks before the opening ceremony. The latest and final version of the rules for athletes runs 70 pages, complete with comic strips intended to explain the complex web of rules that organizers say will keep the games safe. Officials hope the restrictions will build confidence among Japan's skeptical public that the games can be held safely even though the pandemic has not yet been brought under control. Metro Manila and the rest of the country will experience partly cloudy skies with isolated rain showers or thunderstorms. On the other hand, southwest monsoon is affecting northern and central Luzon. The country's temperature will range from 26.7 degrees Celsius to 32.6 degrees Celsius. That wraps up the stories this morning. Catch the latest news on our website, tribune.net.ph, and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Tribune Now. The Daily Tribune is one with the nation in facing the COVID-19 crisis, and in line with this, the Daily Tribune digital edition on Press Reader is now available for free online. You can also download the Daily Tribune app on Apple Store or Google Play to get the latest and most comprehensive news online. Daily Tribune is also inviting everyone to join its community Viber Kachibu to get updates on the freshest and hottest news and entertainment stories of the day. Starcito emoticons are also available on our community Viber. Just visit the sticker store and search for Kachibu Community. Before we go, we would like to thank the SM Store and Araneta Center. Again, this is Sandy Locos and you are watching Tribune News on Q. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay at home. Good morning and have a nice day.